Hey everyone, I am so excited to pop into your inbox tonight. We're talking about our social media diet that we're challenging all of you to. So initially we threw this challenge out to everyone doing Rebellion right now, and I thought, you know what, as a crew, let's see if we can just get everybody on board with this. I think it could not be a more important time to get off of our devices when possible and connect with the people and things that matter the most. I'm up here right now in Caledon with Lexi. It's Lexi's 12th-ish birthday, so I thought I would bring her up for my annual 2 days of planning the year ahead. We have a new decade that we're planning for this time, so I'm extra excited, and some of the plans that we have for you guys next year are just going to blow your minds, and I'm really, really excited for these 2 days. So here's the thing with the social media challenge. When we talked about this a couple of times in the studio, I was really excited. Sorry, not excited. I was excited, but I was surprised at how nervous people were to take this challenge on and how resistant some of us were to taking this on. And I wanted to explain to you kind of face to face. This is as face to face as we can be right now. Face to face, why this is so important. So I'll tell you a little bit about what this has meant to me in the past. So Julia Cameron, who wrote The Artist's Way and has developed a number of programs that I really have always loved, designed to help artists or creatives unblock. That's kind of her claim to fame. She has done a number of different programs that I've done, and actually a lot of Julia's work is major inspiration for me for creating the Rebellion and some of the practices that we've incorporated, like daily alone time, mindfulness, putting our phones down. A lot of that comes from Julia's impact on me personally. So what I found is that in one of the weeks of Julia's programs, she challenges you to go technology free. I think it's like totally screen free. And the book was written in the 90s when she was probably most likely talking about TV. And times have really changed, right? So what I did at that time is I just went as technology free as possible because we all need to use our computer for the most part at work, right? So what I found is that, I was in a period in my life when I was doing this program the first time where I felt like I did not have any time to be creative. And that was the story that I was telling myself. I'm just too busy. And what I found instantly, guys, is that when I turned my screens off, when I didn't need them for work, I found that I had a lot of time. And so I'm going to share an infographic with all of you in the email that this is going to accompany. And you'll see that, current stats, they're estimating that based on current stats, and I think that this is only going to get worse, most of us will spend an average of 5 years on our devices. 5 years. And that's on social media. That's not on our devices. It's 5 years on social media alone. So add to that, I think it's over 7 years for television, and then the list goes on with a bunch of other activities that are absolute mind-numbing. These are things that do not nourish us. They don't create authentic connections, and they don't really support us in being truly present. So this is a huge opportunity for us to find some freedom and get some time back. And I wanted to give you some other reasons that this is a really, really special activity or challenge to embrace. So I love social media for a lot of different things. I think that social media is really interesting in creating connection, especially like cross-community, Canada-wide, country, global connections. So some of the charity fundraisers and things that I have created, I know that I've been able to connect people around the world through conversation and social media, and you just simply can't take that power away. That is a beautiful asset that I never want to see the world live without. I think it's super important. But there are some downsides to social media, and I think we all really know what they are. But I wanted to share with you, sort of from my perspective, some of the top challenges with being on social media. The number one thing that I see, and I had a really beautiful conversation with Laura Lee, who is a member in the studio, and she's also a therapist, this week about this one piece, and that is comparison. So I don't know about you guys, but I grew up with, in that magazine generation and those TV ads. We grew up as, teenage girls, young girls, seeing ads and, women and girls wearing things that we can't afford, having faces and body types that don't align with ours. Just seeing these ideals, these body shapes and types and behaviors that just don't resonate or align, and it's very confusing, right? We start to compare one another, and I think that the amount of people who look at other people on social media and feel less than is just huge. And that for me is reason enough to embrace a week off of social media. And we don't just compare body types and appearances, we compare lifestyle. When we see these pictures, especially at this time of year, of like the happy family all around the fireplace wearing matching sweaters, with the dogs got the matching sweater on, and everybody looks super happy and the kids are all clean. That is an illusion, that is a moment on camera. But the reality is that we all have these like lives that are super real, right? Where the house is messy, life is messy, life is hard. And it doesn't look like that on a daily basis. And so I think that that comparison and those kind of false visuals are tough on our mental health. As an entrepreneur, I think oftentimes you'll see other entrepreneurs pumping up like, their business and there's just all of these illusions. You can create such a huge persona on social media. Anyone can do it. That we're just kind of living in a world of weird illusions, and extracting ourselves from that just for a week, I think allows us to reset our perspective and kind of reconnect with who we are, truly who we are, and being proud of who we are. I think that, someone in the studio brought up a huge, huge thing as well today around social media, and that is connection. As I said before, I love social media for connection, but a lot of the connection that we create on social media is inauthentic, and we all could do with a lot more real connection, face-to-face connection with one another, but also maybe even more than that, connection with ourselves. Like, I think of how much time I actually just did this tonight, knowing that I'm going to be off social media. I tried to catch up on a lot of messages that we get on Facebook and stuff. And I think I just sat here on the couch for, over an hour. In the blink of an eye, it was gone. What about the connection with ourselves? What could we be doing with that hour, instead of staring like into this tiny world that's not real? Right? So maybe this week, if you struggle with connection and social media is a way to feel less lonely and more engaged, then maybe set some really conscious goals for yourself this week to truly connect in some ways and reach out to others. Not waiting for people to reach out to us, because everybody is busy just like we are, or has the perception of being busy. And so let's just reach out. Let's reach out and open our minds to connecting in different ways. And for yourself, get in the woods, read a book, make something, bake something, create something, write, pet your dog, listen to some vinyl. Just really make the most of some of that time. Another thing that is really compelling, there is just tons of research out there that shows that there is a real negative mental health impact from too much exposure to social media. And I think we've just talked about all of the reasons for that. So, it just makes sense to give ourselves that space for a little bit of mental clarity and separation from some of those social media stories. And then the other thing too that I've written down here is just that FOMO. I think that we all have this. It's like if we're not on social media, are we going to miss like some big thing that's happening, or something that, you know, someone said, that a conversation we want to be a part of, friends getting together, friends posting a thing? And hey, here's the flip side. Like, have you ever seen friends post a gathering on social media and you're like, oh man, why wasn't I invited to that? I think that just taking social media away, it just removes some of these stories that we start to create in our minds. And it's the holiday season. What a beautiful time to actually create more space and more time in our lives to be present and to celebrate and to truly connect. So I'm going to challenge all of you to do this with me and my team this week. Christy, Taryn, Amanda, Jenna, and Liz, we're all on board with this. We are not going to be on the Facebook group this week. We're going to be off of our personal social media. I am going to answer DMs on our RevCore Cambridge Facebook and Instagram accounts, just because those are inquiries from people, and that's business. But when it comes to posts and shares and connecting with all of you, let's just get off of social media. So like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, let's get off. And if you need us, connect with us in the app if you're doing the challenge, or email us. Email me, Erin@revcore.com, and let's do this. And I would love, love, love for you to email me at the end of the week and tell me a little bit about what this brought up for you. And if you were able to uncover some magical time, I'd love to hear about it. I'm going to say goodbye now from Lexi, who's got her head in my lap. And I hope that you guys have a great night. I'm going to get busy kind of dreaming big for the year ahead. I appreciate all of you more than you can imagine. Have a great night, everybody.